Hello and welcome back to where I play East 1 and 2, and against my better judgment I'm going to be proceeding up to the Reston Mine. It's probably the northernmost point in this whole overworld. Once again I fail at basic navigation. It keeps going like this. Darme Tower is going to be fantastic. Here we are. Just heal up a bit, because I'll need every hit point. And the abandoned mine. Low visibility, some fairly tough monsters. And since I have that all on auto run, that'll make for some interesting shenanigans. There are, however, a whole bunch of treasures that we have to pick up while we're in here, and thankfully I've memorized pretty much all of them. First off, of course, the silver armor. I'm not gonna make that mistake twice. And the stuff we get here will make it possible to get the last piece of Tier 4 equipment, the silver sword. But there are a couple of other things worth grabbing. Well, okay, we can't get the healing potion because we already have the one we got before. And the timer ring. The timer ring reduces the speed of monsters. We won't be using it right now. However, there will be a spot in the next dungeon where we will have to use it, more or less. Now, the entrance to the next floor of the mine can be pretty hard to grab because you have to actually walk through a wall to get to the right passage. This area counts as a safe spot so you can regenerate health here. Why? Because the sunlight flows down through this shaft and, at all as we have established, is photosynthetic. This floor I haven't quite memorized as completely as I'd like, so I'm going to be wandering around like an idiot once again. Okay, and in this box is the heal ring. This lets you regenerate health anywhere, and you regenerate twice as fast if you're wearing it while in a safe area. I'm going to be abusing it quite a bit in Darme Tower. And, well, in this mine, apparently. Just a safety save? Because things can go bad pretty quickly. There is no version of this mine that doesn't exist to hurt you. Not in this version, not in any of the pre-complete versions. No, wait, don't want to be there yet. That'll kill me. And I seem to have forgotten where the last treasure is. Oh dear. Okay, did find this at least. And here's another safety shaft. I decided to do this whole mine in one go because it's actually fairly quick if you know where you're going, more or less. However, if you don't know where you're going, then things can get pretty nasty. You'll probably take like an hour the first time through, or unless you've watched a walkthrough or some other shenanigans. But after you've figured that out, all you really need to do is learn how to not die. Hold on. Okay. I went back and looked at one of my maps. Oh yeah, by the way, for this video to work, I had to buy a wing from Pim. I'm pretty sure that no eye contact was involved. Yeah, one of the great things that Chronicles added to East 1 and 2 complete is the ability to quick switch between items and rings and that sort of thing. You know what? Forget it. There's only so much I'm willing to deal with today. And there's Rhea's silver harmonica. Okay, the wing just warps you back to Minea. And now that we have the silver harmonica, we can turn it back over. It's absolutely necessary to return it to Rhea in any version. And because we helped someone, we get another level up. Okay, so returning the silver harmonica to Rhea is one of the two things we need to do to actually talk to the Rhoda trees. The second is eating the Rhoda seed. Now, in earlier versions of the game, to talk to the trees, you only needed to have the seed, but you still needed to give Rhea her harmonica back because Sarah left the Book of Tova in her care, and she won't turn it over to you until you give her back the harmonica. This change was actually based on the OVA, once again, because in the OVA series, as far as I remember, Rhea just thanked him by playing her tune on the harmonica. So, Rhoda number 1. There we go. Now, for some reason, the recording decided to, choke out a bunch of frames. I don't even know why. At least it didn't do it anywhere important. I probably should have checked what was going on in the background. But anyway, I need to return the harmonica to Rhea so that the song can wake up the trees. Because if you just eat the seeds and talk to them, they don't give you much useful, just bits of fragments and actually minor hints as to a couple of the things that are going on in East 2. So you may want to check that out if you play the game. And here's Rhoda the Younger. And there we go, the last piece of Tier 4 gear. That's all the equipment we can find outside of the final dungeon, so we should be more than prepared enough to take on the rest of Raston. No, I'm not gonna fail that way again. I will find other more interesting ways to fail. Yeah, the way that me and video games tend to work is that in games there are often very many ways to lose, and I will almost certainly find all of them. It's probably why I never finished Diablo 2. I never could actually make a good build, no matter how many times I tried. Yeah, the stairs to the second floor aren't actually that far from the entrance. It's just the treasures you need to range for down here. Okay, monsters made of fire that don't give off any light. I should have just kept going. I have to say, though, that this is probably the most annoying dungeon of East 1 and 2, so once this is over with, I won't be complaining too much about the later dungeons that we have to push our way through. Okay, the Darme key is the key to the boss room around here. But we're not actually ready to fight the boss. We have all the equipment, but once again, we don't have the levels for it. So I had to pause the video to grind my way up to what we needed to be. And considering that the next level is the level cap for East 1, the final dungeon is going to be a bit interesting. Yeah, when I decide to grind to max level, which will mostly be cut out, there's the boss door, I actually died once because of the whole, well, I'm low on health, but I can take one more monster. So let's take on the boss now that we're max level. We can take him. Well, that didn't go as planned. Yeah, I thought because I can just, beat him pretty reliably normally, it wouldn't be a problem. So really, that's 2 deaths by hubris for this recording session. So, Vigolian. This boss is a troll. He's mainly a bat, but he's also a troll. Basically, he has a very small hit window. His cloud of bats gets everywhere, and you can only really hit him when he's formed together. So yeah, this is another waiting boss. Of course, this boss is actually the easy version of Vigolian. The pre-complete ones, like the turbo version, had something really nasty about them. Basically, unlike in this version, you couldn't tell whether or not they were actually reforming into the big bat or were just faking you out. And considering you took damage pretty much whenever you touched him when he wasn't vulnerable, it was pretty easy for the boss, the older versions of this boss, to kill you more or less instantly. Watch Unplayed Things journey through Ys 1 and 2 Turbo to see what I mean. In fact, you should probably watch it anyway. I think his vids are the ones that really got me into tracking down Ys 1 and 2 complete. I'm not a huge fan of bosses that make you wait. Thankfully, there aren't really any of those. Well, there is the one in Ys 2. And see what I mean about that tiny hit window? It's just screwing me up. Thankfully, he can only take 2 more hits or something. I think this boss is the reason that I'll never try this game on anything harder than normal. And down he goes. He has a pretty good death effect too, depriving him of everything meat on his bones. And our reward? The 3rd book of Ys. By the way, remember this room. So anyway, next video of Ys 1 and 2 Chronicles, we found out where the last 3 books of Ys are, and we go there. And as I said, well, okay, see you next time.